this is the safest container that I have ever found to explore those places where we previously felt unsafe.
Yes. Yes.
And that's been probably the most important thing in being able to fully integrate and embrace what you offer, is the safety.
Yes.
That takes us out of our previous safety.
Yes, into a bigger safety,
Yeah.
a universal safety, and the fact that we create our own cocoon of safety. And if we know we have people around us who are weaving that cocoon of safety with us, then we can further and further and further relax and explore hidden mysteries. And the feminine is carrying a lot of hidden mystery. And we express it through movement, we express it through dance, we express it through our sensuality. But so often it hasn't been safe. And so the number one factor for me in bringing my work to men and women is really creating safety.
Sexuality is one of the areas that is sort of left behind in modern spirituality. There's a lot that we do with love, there's a lot that we do with awareness and connection, but there's a piece that we leave out of ourselves, and it's a piece that's a very big part of who we are as human beings. So having a safe context to bring that material back into ourselves, to bring ourselves back into connection with who we are as sexual beings, and have that be safe, have that be all right, have that be part of the blessed spiritual being that we're here to be, is exciting, and it brings a wholeness that's unlike anything else.
For Divine Feminine and for yourself, may I place my hands on your heart and your belly.
Yes.
The nurturing practice of awe is an invitation and an opportunity for someone to receive loving, conscious, high integrity touch and energy into the energy centers of their body that the yogis and the mystics might call chakras. Now, all of these centers take on memory, impact, and imprints throughout our lives. These centers begin to close down. And the little being that was once innocent has begun to block and close and almost deform how we stand and how we go through life, because we take on these hits to our emotional body and sometimes to our physical body as well. We never got an education about what the sexual energy really is, aside from its ability to create life and give us pleasure through this act we call sex. But it is also an energy, and it is an energy that gets shut down. It's the first center of energy in the body that shuts down when we get a little bit afraid, or when we feel impacted in our heart. We shut down our sexuality very quickly. It is the most vulnerable center. So the nurturing practice of touch, of awe, is something that came from my experience with something called sexual healing. And that was actually a practice of bringing touch and integrity and balance and wholeness to these energy centers on another person's body. The AH stands for awakening and healing. And the sound of is a sound we make when we are relaxing. It's that deep, long sigh that speaks to the body and advises the body to relax and let go. And this letting go often is not just in the sound and the breathing, but you're letting go of some of these impacts and hurts and hits that you've taken on in life.
It's coming home to yourself.
It encompasses the spirituality of the inner me, the inner wisdom.
It put me in my body for the first time so that I could actually feel myself.
It moves me from the inside out. It gets to the places that you always hope things would get to, and they never seem to get there.
We need to take in more nurturing. We need it in particularly to the centers that absorb the difficulties of life and relationship, and come out the other side with less blame, without feeling like a victim, like life's, shot me down and I couldn't do anything about it. Well, we can do something about it, and we are doing something about it. We are teaching people how to touch each other in a loving, integrous, kind, gentle, and tender way. And from that place, we can reclaim that erotic innocence of our childhood, that ecstatic joy that we once knew.
We learn about this from just, on the playground. We learn about it in ways that are just so insufficient to really understand the depths of what loving can be.
This, I feel like, is something that I have really been on a quest for my entire life, to explore the essence of who I am, including my sensual, sexual nature.
You have to let go of an old model of how it needs to be. You have to be willing to go out there in a way that's, very vulnerable.
Well, with all the sexual dysfunction going on,
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's critical that we have something that points us in the direction of wholeness.
That's the really core of my message, is the essential need of human beings to receive nurturing, awakening, and healing touch.
I have not found any teachers or schools or institutes that do such a thorough job of incorporating the sacredness of this work.
It feels like I've come home, and I'm home in myself, in my body, with more love and acceptance for myself. Unlike anything I've experienced out there in the world, which I've done a lot of different stuff out there in the world.
It will change your entire life.